So this is a fan fiction idea I believe I have done in the past, but hey, you know me, I always like to come back and think of new ideas and play with them. And as you can see right here, this is one that's always been near and dear to me, and that is Fantastic Four and Tenchi Muyo. So without further ado, let's dive right into this crossover. So the story actually begins in two separate points. On one hand, the what's going on is with the Fantastic Four, they're basically experimenting with Doctor Doom's time platform. Essentially, Reed is running tests on how far can they, utilize time to essentially go back. The working theory in general is how far can they travel and how long can they stay in one area to avoid damage to the time stream. Because there's Reed always hypothesizes, I know there's damage to the time, we could do damage to the timeline, but it's always so tempting to just go back in time, and we only do this I know we use this thing for in case of emergencies, but I always who wouldn't want to go back in time and talk to Nikola Tesla, or have a conversation with someone of a great mind, and Ben's just so you just want to have nerd talk with other nerds that are dead, huh, Stretcho? And he's like, to put it bluntly, yeah, I kind of do. So so the Fantastic Four essentially get on the time platform and are it'll be an in and out, 5 minutes tops, and we'll go to some random period in time. Meanwhile, while this is going on, Washu is also playing with time travel as well. She's basically we're gonna go. My machine always took us back in time, but now we're gonna move forward in time. I've altered my time machine in order to stop Kane, because we are referencing the first Tenchi Muyo first movie, and basically, Washu is essentially hey, this time we're going to go forward in time by, not by much, I just want to see how far I can go. We'll say 24 hours. We'll go a day into the future and then come back. Because what if, my machine worked and we break away from the time stream? So they do that. And then everything seems fine. The Fantastic Four and the Tenchi group, the group, return back to the present, and everything's changed. Everything is completely altered. And they were we were gone for 5 minutes, collectively. They're just we were gone for 5 minutes. How the hell did this happen? So, Reed and Washu separately are make the same hypothesis. Because remember, Washu is in Japan, the Fantastic Four and the others, they're in New York. And what I mean by how things have altered drastically is that they now live in a world ruled by Doom. Doctor Doom has now conquered the world, and yeah, everyone both Tenchi and the Tenchi group and the Fantastic Four are both how did this happen? We weren't even gone that long. And how are we, the whole universe has been altered. There's no superheroes. There's no mention of, Tenchi's grandfather. All of that. It is all altered. And both Reed and Washu because again, they're still in their separate places at the moment, and they're both they make the same hypothesis, is that whatever happened in this point of time, we were saved because we were outside of the time stream. We were basically outside of time. This must have happened when we were traveling the time stream. Whatever alteration happened, it must have happened. That's why we're not affected. That's why we're not erased from time. And of course, Johnny's the first one to go so we just go to Latveria and kick Doom's ass like we always do. It's that easy. And sure enough, giant Doom bots show up. But these Doom bots look a lot different. So these Doom bots look almost alien, and they're gigantic. So at the same time, Tenchi and the others are also discovered by the same kind of Doom bots. They know who Doctor Doom is. He's that guy from Europe who fights the Fantastic Four and Avengers sometimes. But now they're encountering Doom bots all the way in Japan, and they have to fight their way through them. And what happens is that they're like, well, no, like Washu's like, this doesn't make any sense. Doom's not, like these robots almost look like Jirayan in nature, and even Ayeka agrees. Like, and Tenchi's like, how does that happen? Like, how does Doctor Doom have Jirayan technology? So Washu and the others, they have to hide, and they discover like the history around the same time as the Fantastic Four do, because like when Doom and the others, when Reed and the others fight the Doom bots, they don't say like, you know, Fantastic Four detected. They're like, unlawful metahuman detected. And they're like, Victor, come out here. You know, we know it's you. And they're like, Victor, the name Victor is not recognized. Destroy unknown entity. And Reed's like, that doesn't make any sense. Why does, even if he altered the time stream, Victor is so fucking vain that he would basically keep us around. At least for me, like he would keep the history of us around and make us almost like the devils of this this utopian society. And even then, like, they're like noticing that how this is happening is not like Doom. The technology's different. Everything else. While this is going on, Washu has discovered that the history. Tenchi pulls up he manages to find like a local library that has like the history of Lord Doom, and essentially this continuity has it that around years ago, what happened was the great Emperor Doom conquered Earth with his metal angels from the sky. They're now part of the Jirayan Empire. Earth is part of the Jirayan Empire, which is ruled by Lord Doom. Yeah, Doctor Doom's the Emperor and he's gone because essentially, Jirai was destroyed. The Jiraians, led by Doctor Doom, conquered Earth, and now it's the heart of the new Jirayan Empire. And they're like, Doctor Doom is not. Ayeka's the first one. Doom. I don't know who this Doom guy is, but he is not Jirayan. There's no mention of this Doctor Doom guy, and all reports say he's a human. Meanwhile, Washi was like, hey, heads up, everybody. I just found the anomaly that kind of follows our chronoscan. Whatever that anomaly might be, our ticket of beating them. You know, finding out what this is. They fly to where the anomaly is, and Washu makes the note of, hey, that anomaly? Yeah, that thing's coming towards us. And sure enough, a blast of fire comes through, and Tenchi and the girls face off with the Fantastic Four. So it becomes an all-out fight, and even Tenchi's like, whoa, wait a minute, it's the Fantastic Four. These guys fight Doctor Doom, and they're like, no dice, tell us how you altered the time stream, because we scan the same chrono signature from you, that it means you're an anomaly. And they're like, well, we scanned you, and you're the anomaly. So a fight breaks out, as of course, until eventually Tenchi and Sue actually calm everyone down, and then cooler heads, come through, and everyone starts comparing notes. So they talk about the Jirayan Empire, Tenchi and the others explain the Jirayan Empire. It even reads like, that's not Doom. Like, Doom's human. That doesn't make any sense. So they don't know what's going on. So, and also the other thing is Washu's like 9 steps ahead of Reed, and he's actually like kind of sad about it because Ben and Ryoko are talking. He's like, looks like your egghead friend is kind of embarrassed by my mom. And he's like, let him. If Stretch needs to get knocked down a peg or two. So Washu's just talking to Reed like a child, because as smart as Reed is, Washu's 30 times smarter. So Washu's like, it's not like, and Reed's like, it's nice to talk to a fellow intellectual. And Washu's like, is that what you call yourself? Ugh. Don't be we are not the same. I'm a god, okay? I am a literal god. What did you have? Oh, smartest man in the universe? Smartest woman in the multiverse. We are not. Do not compare us, sir. So Washu and basically Washu, with the help of Reed, discover that there is a point of chrono origin that they need to get to that basically would set off this new chain of events. Meanwhile, they have to figure out what's going on. So good old-fashioned split up. So Tenchi, Ryoko, Mihoshi, and Kione, along with Ben and Johnny, stay in the present, while Sue, Reed, and the others, they're headed to the past to find where this anomaly was, because they're like, whatever Doom did, he had to have figured this out. Like, it was that point. So if we can stop that point, we can unravel all of this. So the two teams head out. One team goes to the present in Latveria. They fight their way through Latveria, and they encounter Dr. Doom. And Johnny and Ben are like, come on, come on, Victor, it's us. Like, don't you, Reed's not here, but he's going to stop you. And they're like, and Doom goes, who is Victor? I don't know you. Like, I don't know who this Victor is. You keep calling me that. And they're like, because that's who you are. And Victor's like, Doom is like, you don't know who I am, do you? You don't know your emperor. And Tenchi's like, wait a minute, I know that voice. No, that is not true. That can't be. And Doom takes off the mask, and he goes, allow me to introduce myself. I am Emperor Kagato von Doom. So, while this is happening, in the past, the rest of the team discover what happened. Essentially, Kagato discovered the time gem, and was going to use it to alter the timeline so he can rule Jirai. Unfortunately, guess who else found it? Dr. Doom. Doom and Kagato got into a fight, and they basically during the fight, the time gem activated, and in that moment, not only did they merge into one being, they merged a new timeline. And again, the only reason Tenchi and the Fantastic Four were unaffected was because they were outside of the time merge. So now it's just like, what? So now they have to like stop that merge from happening to keep Kagato and Doom from taking the time gem. Meanwhile, everyone else in the present is like doing battle with Kagato von Doom. Keep in mind, this is still Kagato. He's still really powerful, and now he has the super science and the magic, as well as the power of both Jirai and Dr. Doom. So he's like, Tenchi's like, I killed Kagato in my timeline. I defeated him. I can do it again. And and Kagato's like, if that were true, boy, I would, that's not going to happen here. And did you think you were the only time travelers I've battled? No, I have killed so many time travelers. I have been making sure that this timeline, because Kagato von Doom reveals, yeah, I know this is a merged timeline. I was there, dipshit. I figured it out. I just, I don't want this timeline altered. But yeah, so eventually, yeah, Reed and Washu do manage to, get the time gem away from them. And Washu's like looking it over like, I was there when these things were made. They're still gaudy. And uses it to correct the timeline. Kagato is blasted away, and Doom is defeated, and the timeline is reforged. And on both sides, they're just like feeling like this sense of deja vu, because they leave their timelines like they did before, and they're just like, that was weird. Does anyone else feel like something happened? Oh well. So there you go, guys. That is the Fantastic Four Tenchi Muyo crossover. And if anyone mentions, yes, this was heavily inspired by one of my favorite crossovers, Star Trek Legion of Superheroes. A lot of this story was inspired by that crossover. But other than that, you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of this crossover? Like it, hate it, comment below, let me know. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.